if you ask me. So just refresh yourself with all of those special drinks, and you can begin to feel special once you're able to do that. Well, those numbers for bulk purchase: 0266 322 321. Once again, it's 0266 322 321, and it's all about your special soft drinks that makes you truly feel special. Well, so we're beginning our conversation in this segment where we're looking at those big stories that are making the rounds. Ghanaian Times and some other papers talking about how the Vice President is doing well in London. Indeed, the Information Minister, according to Ghanaian Times as well, has confirmed this. You can get details on page 15 of the paper. Yeah, so those guys who went to the Kwabena police station, killed the cop and freed their colleagues. Well, we're told by the Ghanaian Times newspaper this morning, 4 of them have been arrested, including the cop killer. And yes, so this is a matter of security issues, and all of you have been asking questions about our security and safety as a country. So yes, we want to be delving into that as well, and of course bring you updates on exactly what it means now that Parliament has summoned the local government minister and of course the registrar of the births and deaths, on the issue of the ban of certain names, including my in-laws' names as well. Of course, my own children as well bear such names. My guest, the Honorable ABA Fusaini, my very good friend. I haven't seen you in a while. It's so refreshing to see you.
Yes, we're on recess, and you have to combine work at the constituency as well as my responsibilities as communications for the minority. So.
Sure. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Okay.
Remember, you look fresh and nicer.
We have a second god on the show.
Sure.
Yeah. Jane O'Kine.
Okay.
No, Kafri can be that second god. He knows. I don't know what Jane would do to Kafri should Kafri. So yes, so Jane is asking that you probably introduce the segment properly for us, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Just tell her not to dance herself late before the real dance.
All right, there you have it, Jane. Good to see you.
Good to see you, madam. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you as well. The whole year, have we met? We haven't.
No, I don't.
On the show, we haven't met.
No, we haven't.
Okay, so Nana is a communications expert, Ministry of Energy. Okay, well, there are a lot of stories that are making the rounds. I want us to begin with the second gentleman of our land. And all of those videos and pictures that we saw the weekend suggesting that he's doing well in London. Let me begin with Nana Damwa. Nana, the minister has actually confirmed, what we saw the weekend, says the Vice President is doing well in London.
Good morning to you. Good morning to all Ghanaians. It's a new week. Monday always represents a fresh start for all of us, and it's very important that we go out there and take it and help contribute our quota towards the development of Ghana. Yes, the Vice President is doing well, as we have all seen in the videos. He's a man that is loved by a lot of people in this country. He's admired for his hard work, he's admired for his work ethos, he's admired for the brilliance with which he tackles issues and the dedication that he has towards these issues. So, I mean, it's a matter of concern for a lot of people that, for a period of time. We all saw him during the press engagements at the Flagstaff House where he was looking fit and sound. And then there were some issues that occurred. I remember that the government was as open as possible with the people of Ghana on the issue of his health. I remember the first statement that was issued by Mr. Eugene Ahen, Director of Communications at the Flagstaff House, in which he said that the Vice President had taken on well and that he was being monitored, and that in due course we report to the people of Ghana what exactly the issues were. Then I also remember that before he was taken out of the country on medical leave grounds, the Chief of Staff also made clear that the Vice President was being taken out of the country and that he had been given medical leave. I took a little bit of an issue with what some persons, especially the minority, sought to do in saying that there was not enough information and that we needed clarity, among other things. You see, I've come to learn that in this our job, when you're communicating or when you're speaking basically to two major classes of people. The first is the people of Ghana, who genuinely and obviously would want to find out what is happening. To them, you give them the facts, you tell them what the issues are. The second group is the political opposition, who very often, even when matters are clear, are interested in trying to twist the facts, obviously for political gain, obviously to make it look as though something had gone wrong, even when there is none. In those areas, what you do is put the facts before them. I'm sorry, but we were in this country. We all know what happened in certain quarters. I do not, it's a Monday morning, and for the areas of sensitivity, I do not want to walk down a certain path. All I'll say is that any objective listener and watcher will acknowledge the fact that this government has been open and has related better to the people of the Republic of Ghana as regards the health of our president and his vice, much more than has happened in the past. Governance is a continuum, it continues. We notice the faults, we notice the mistakes, and we build upon it. Everybody who is being objective will acknowledge the fact that this government has built upon the mistakes of the past. If political opposition wants to take government to nail government to the cross because they want to make political capital out of it, let it be so. But I will not walk that path with them. All I'll say is that we are grateful to the Almighty God for the fact that the Vice President, His Excellency, is doing well. We are praying that God brings him back soon enough to come and join us and also to continue what it is that he is doing. I would also take this opportunity to remind the good people of Ghana that, let us also take our health seriously. Anything can happen to anybody, and do the rightful things to ensure that, we are able to remain productive for as long as we can.
Okay, so all this, I don't know, but I'm beginning to feel that you're trying so hard to convince us that the man is doing so well, when indeed we know that he's not well.
I don't think that that's a fair comment to make, because if you say I'm trying so hard, I didn't produce the video, honestly. And
is the video current, by the way? Is it a current video? Considering that now we see an endorsement from the Information Ministry to this video, it's a current video, because there have been a lot of questions being asked as to whether indeed this is a video that was filmed recently or an old video.
I have two things to say. One, the very first one is the question of since when it became the norm to doubt government information. Because if you're asking, is it a
we're just asking questions, unless you're telling us that these are not legitimate questions.
So I'm just making a point that I'm wondering when it became the norm to question government information. Because
are you able to tell us if this video that we saw the weekend is a current video or probably an old one that has just been, brought back? We're just getting a confirmation. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I think I have a problem with that position. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. That the Minister of Information, who is a cabinet, who sits in cabinet among others, at a high level, has come out to assure the entire nation that yes, the man is doing well. This video is current, and I don't know on what basis we may want to question whether the video is current or not. When indeed,
you might not be fair to the people of Ghana by your submissions. I think your response has been made. I think we get exactly.
No, but that's why I'm also saying that if you say that I'm struggling, I'm being very calm about this, because look, these are sensitive issues. I am resisting the temptation to go into a certain fray, because really, it won't help anybody.
Do we know who released the video, by the way?
I don't know who released the video. Okay. What I have done is I have checked with the Flagstaff House, and it has been confirmed that yes, indeed, that video is current. But what I want to say,
so you had a response for me, and you were beating about the bush.
I wasn't beating about the bush. I don't think that it should be an acceptable norm for things like that to be, unless anybody can produce evidence, first of all. But for information to be issued, and then the information minister comes out to confirm it, and then we still want to question it, then I want to know if there's any background or anything to that effect. But I've been calm, and I want to address the issue of, I'm struggling.
We don't have all the time. Please, we have other stories.
But I want us to deal with that as well.
I think your point has been made. Your point has been made.
If it has, but I don't think it was fair to say I was struggling.
Okay. ABA.
Yeah, let me say a good morning to all the good people of Saudi Arabia, to your viewers across the world, to your good self, and to your team of competent technicians, and to my brother in the studio. Kafui, I'm saying Kafi is bewitching me for the accusation that
he's so jealous that you're here.
This one, you see, if you haven't stolen, you don't run in the market.
If you haven't done what?
If you haven't stolen or committed a crime in the marketplace, you don't run. So when you see somebody running in the market,
you could be running to catch.
It's a problem.
You could be running to catch a chocho
in the market.
Yes.
No, you come out of the market and run. See, my brother was just saying that when did people start doubting government information? He has so soon forgotten when MPP was in opposition. Almost everything that came, even public institutions, they made public statements to the fact they no longer have confidence even in the police. This was a statement from the New Patriotic Party headquarters press conference.
Is that the reason why the minority?
That they don't even.
Is that the reason why the minority of today is trying to do some and probably even go ahead of what you are now claiming?
I'm just shaving. You don't touch your head. You see it when I finish. You see,
my head is shaved.
Let me say straightforward that unlike the MPP, which did a lot of terrible politics with the health of no meaner person than His Excellency, our illustrious former president, John Evans Atta Mills. They did it every day, even went to the point of saying that he was dead.
I think that might not be a fair comment.
No, please.
Because I asked the question as well.
I'm situating it. I'm saying that we will not do that.
As a people who vote our leaders into power, I think we deserve the right to know the health status.
So this one, I'm just coming to that.
They're legitimate questions.
Yes.
If indeed
so I'm
we
just
want
coming
to
to that. First and foremost, this was a Muslim. I know that it is Allah Almighty who gives health. It is one of the charities of Allah Almighty to give health. So when you wake up and you are healthy, it is not by your strength, your beauty, or your handsomeness, it is Allah. And anybody can fall ill at any time. And so that is an attribute of God. But for God's sake, who contributed to this mess?
Who?
It is government communicators. The bungling incompetence.
Exactly how?
From Eugene Ayin, the first statements that came out. You remember there was a statement that the vice president is not well. Pray for. Let's pray for him.
The first one that was said to be fake. The very first one that was said to be fake.
And then later on.
And then that was followed by.
Eugene issued another one, came out with a clarification before the chief of staff. And there were contradictions. The indecent haste to put out the vice president's this one. Unmistakable. And so it continued to the point where this video has also been put out.
Maybe this morning we are told that he's doing well. We should not be happy that the second gentleman of the land is doing well.
I said from the onset that we as Muslims wish him well. May Allah Almighty bring him. Because you know why? Because we in the NDC want him to get well and come back to do things that he had promised Ghanaians. The city now is in a free fall. He promised that they had arrested the city. The vice president had arrested the city, locked it in jail, and gave the key to the IGP. We are waiting for him to come and liberate it.
It's the only reason why you are praying.
The plethora of empty promises that the MPP use to hoodwink the good people of this country to ride on their backs to power. And today, the country is in a mess. Not only is
we're talking about the health of the vice presidents of our country,
and that is what I'm coming to.
I'm surprised where you're veering me to.
So Beswa, if he's fine, we watch him in Ghana, not in London. Okay. If they claim he's as fine,
at least we know he's on a sick leave.
We want him to come back and work. Look, Parliament is being taken through a right. Anytime the president is out, they have to swear, assemble all members of Parliament from wherever they are. It's a waste of the taxpayers' money. It's frivolous expenditure that we can do without, so that we can channel the money into more productive sectors of the economy to liberate the good people of the who are suffering under the throes of this incompetent government. So I'm saying that Beswa, the sweetness of a pudding is not the aroma, it's in the eating. We pray that he's well, but if he's well, as they say, he should come home. Ghanaians want him now to come and work and do the good things that he had promised us. They had promised us that this land was going to flow of milk and honey under an MPP government. It was Dr. Bawumia himself who said that there is money in this country. They don't need to even borrow. Even with the record level of borrowing today, look at the mess the country is in.
Okay.
Not only this one, today, Ghanaians can no longer even get a respite from economic hardship.
Have taken this
they can no longer even sleep.
On
look at the level of lawlessness that has gripped this country.
I certainly didn't expect this, because I thought we were looking out for the health of our vice president.
We are saying that has a leak. That's what we say. We want him to come back and deal with these issues.
On the issue of him not being around, the president not being around, and the speaker being sworn into power.
Taking us through this.
We've seen this happen in this country time without number, and you are a lawmaker, and you know the processes.
We are saying
you know what the processes should be.
Yes.
If indeed
we are saying
want
that
to change.
this is avoidable.
So
we are saying that they themselves. Who put this video? Who put this video in the
raising my hand in the classroom and
you see,
for the want of time, I want us to move on.
In the public domain.
For the want of time, I want us to move on. But I mean, we have a lot of messages coming through. No, I think the question as well that Imani Ghana is asking this morning, they want to know the bill of the vice president, and I'm sure that a lot of Ghanaians as well would want to know.
And whether it will be paid by public or private funds. I think all of those are relevant questions that must be asked.
No, wait. So are you able to give me a direct response to this particular question that I just asked?
Honestly, I wouldn't, but as a Ghanaian, hold on.
I'm not allowing you another time on this one, but just if you can give me a response to this last question that I asked.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I'm saying that as a Ghanaian, I think that is a relevant issue that must be answered clearly.
Thank you.
It's rightful that we would want to know that, okay, the vice president went on medical leave. What was the cost expenditure involved and what happened? Again, those that are raising questions about the state of our health system in this country and all of that, I think it's fair. Those are credible issues that we must look at. But I said, a political opposition, let's leave it there.
If you're repeating yourself, then I'm sorry, because we got the first.
I'm saying political opposition.
Okay, so indeed, Zach Ziba says that GH1, I want you to tell Ghanaians the truth that the vice president is seriously ill, so we can pray for him. How can a leading member of government and a lawmaker of this country, Kennedy Japan, be denied access to seeing the vice president because of security reasons? Then you bring out these videos showing the VIP walking on the streets of London without any security. Come on, we're not kids. Well, thank you. And finally, Harrison from Akachi, you are concerned with the GES and unemployment situation. Okay, so yes, a lot more messages. Okay, so this one says the vice president and the MPP will never stop deceiving Ghanaians. That's what you think. If you're from Medina, you think that the vice president should stop trying to impress Ghanaians. He should rather focus on his health and get better. All right, let's move on to some other discussions. So issues of security, which I know is still really big. A lot of you this morning made that very clear. Indeed, on the front pages of a lot of the papers, including the Ghanaian Times once again, cop killer, 4 others arrested as police pursue Kwabena jailbreak fugitives. Police grip 3 dealers. Okay, so a whole lot of issues concerning security. And for me, I mean, I was excited when I saw the statement suggesting that these guys had been apprehended. They're still looking out for the rest of them. People are still concerned that we probably are still not safe as a country. Maybe.
Miswa, when your watchman needs security, the landlord is in danger.
Of course.
Kafui.
Okay, that's fine. I haven't been here in 2 weeks.
You see, the issue at stake, like you rightly pointed out, is a matter of serious concern to Ghanaians.
Indeed.
Ghanaians are having a sleepless nights. In fact, they have sleepless nights these days because you go to bed not knowing whether it is possible that you can be a subject of attack or you can even lose your life. So basically, like this gallant police officer, let me take this opportunity. I've not been in your studios. I want to take this opportunity to commiserate with his family and friends, and to ask that the Almighty Allah give them the strength to go through this very difficult period of losing somebody in the line of duty. These are people who have put their life on the line. the line of duty for the state. And notwithstanding the fact that life is irreplaceable, you cannot truly compensate for a life that is lost. I want to believe that the state will indeed do something as a form of recompense, not compensation per se, for the life that is lost. But more importantly for me, Beswa, to take more steps to ensure that what happened at Kwabenya and many other places where police stations have been the subject matter of attacks, Somanya, Walwale, many places across the country, Beswa. And for me, even as I accept that security is a collective duty, it's a collective responsibility of citizens and those tasked with the law enforcement regime. We must all cooperate to ensure that we nip crime in the bud. But Beswa, let us also be endeavor to be realistic. You see, there's a saying that when a cow is chewing grass, the calf watches its mouth so that it emulates what it is doing. This one, when you sow impunity, you will reap unfettered lawlessness. In a country where this one, people can go public and say that, look, as for us, beyond armed robbery, there's nothing we cannot do. This one, they make such bellicose, crass lawlessness statement, and nothing happens, and they walk away. What signal are you sending to people out there? Because I know that it is not for want of efficiency in our police. You have very good police officers, even in the system now. Those are the helm of affairs, including the Kofi Boachis, the Dr. Dan Paris, and others. They are very good police officers. But the environment within which they operate sometimes can petrify them into inaction. So how could it happen, for instance, that the spirit of lawlessness that has run across this country from hoodlums who are identified and known with the MPP, from the Delta forces, the invisible forces, Bogatanga dogs, power crocodiles, mention all of them.
Azoka boys.
You see, all of them. Elmina Sharks, compare Red Devils. You can mention it for the rest of the day.
Boys.
Under the guise of operating under a political party. A political party comes to own these hoodlums to the point that when they even go to court, this one, they are even aware that, oh, this particular prosecution that is going on, we are just going to pay some token amount and get away. And so they carry the money along with them that they have been
so
told.
Security definitely is big, and
this one,
we should see governments
the impunity
show a lot more leadership.
The impunity that has been shown,
yes,
it's a matter of concern.
So
that has to be dealt with frontally. If that impunity is not nipped in the bud, this one, you can see more and more acts of violence. The president has constantly assured us. You remember when he visited Nana Otufo, that's Santihini? He gave you
that's
the
a long time ago. Recently,
yes.
and
ever since
the information ministry
after all
has
the
come
assurances that have been given, the situation gets worse. And today, apart from the Ghanaians struggling with the basic issues of how to even get food to eat and to live, now they have been deprived of their.
So we know that as of last week, I said yesterday.
So it's a critical issue that is facing Ghanaians.
Most
today.
Definitely.
To the effect that many Ghanaians, if you ask them today to rate some of the issues in society today, they will talk of insecurity as one of the key.
Well, as of last week, once again, we know that the Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Interior had actually, summoned the IGP, the Interior Minister. Some recommendations were made, and we know that
part of the thing which I'm just
measures are supposed to be put in place to ensure total security.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was in Parliament when the meeting between the parliamentary, the Joint Committee on Security and Defence met the IGP and other officers. And basically, one of the things that has also come up is lack of logistics for the police to perform. Which
the government has promised to ensure that they fully equip.
Motivation, so many other factors.
Yes.
have actually conspired to work against the effectiveness of the police in combating crime.
We say government is continuing, or whichever way that we put it. I mean, during the NDC time, we heard of a lot of retooling, for the police and all of that. So the question that I continuously ask is, where did all of those equipment, all of those tools that were given the police service go? Because then it's been barely a year. And today we are talking about the fact that government is unable to better equip the police service so they can better perform. So, I mean, like I said, we know exactly what the current situation is. Let's now begin to see exactly the kind of leadership that government will show to ensure that the measures that have been suggested will be put in place to ensure
you have talked about government being a continuum.
Please.
Some retooling was done. I'm just hoping that there will be some continuity. So that those areas where
it
the government was
means
not
that
able
it was
to
not enough, because then
Certainly.
various governments obviously have failed
certainly
to deal with this issue.
You
of
cannot finish a full retooling. You
Yes.
do what you can do at a point in time, to a point where it is possible to
And then another person
equip
takes
them to
over
it.
and
Then you continue.
continues. Yes.
So I'm just hoping that there will be a continuum.
So you think it should be a priority?
Exactly, it's a priority.
Nana, I mean, legitimate concerns, really.
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. First of all, in dealing with this issue of insecurity, we need to be fair and look at it that it comes from a point of view of the bread and arms argument. In a country like Ghana, which is a lower middle income country, with the limited resources that are available to us, there's always that question of what do we put our limited resources to? There's currently within the Ghana police an argument, a certain, problem that is raging between senior and junior officers over sidearms. And the question is, senior officers carry sidearms for themselves. And then the junior officers, who are actually most often the ones on the ground, who are the first line of resistance to any attack, are not allowed to carry arms. So very often when an attack occurs, you realize that about 1 or 2 people are the ones that carry arms, and then that's it. In a country like Ghana, as we continue to develop, as we get more sophisticated among others, robbers and criminals are also growing in their levels of sophistication, and even with the armaments that they carry. This creates a huge problem for our security services in terms of the armament and other issues. Take a look.
So why are we not changing our system of policing, for instance? Why are we not changing? I want us to move it forward. I'm looking at the time because I said earlier on we don't have all the time. Go ahead. I'm just trying to get you to just push it forward.
Okay, so
push it forward for me.
That argument lies there. There are several other indicators. What is clear is that we have a serious problem with our methods of policing in this country. Look, I have trained as a security officer before. I can tell you for a fact that during the entire time that I was in training, over a year, we fired arms twice. And I was trained as a senior officer. So the police officers that are there, the level of training and all of that also needs to be improved. The short version of the long story I'm trying to tell here is that we need to look at a holistic reform of our entire police and security institutions to ensure that they are up to date with 21st century methodologies that came. Let's deal with those things. Let's accept it and realize that we are in trouble and move on. But we're doing politics. So if Honorable Fuseni decides to go down the line he has gone, please, I will have to respond to some of the issues. Speak of impunity. Honorable ABA Fuseni, was a worker at Graphic. When he was contesting to become an MP, he did not resign. May I finish?
No, I think that you are putting a false information.
No.
I resigned my position and went and contested.
When?
At the point when I resigned from Graphic.
I'm coming.
I want to get exactly
what I'm saying. That
I want to get exactly what this has got to do with the issue of security.
So I'm saying that you are making points and references of impunity. As he sits here, he's one of the people who engendered that culture of impunity in this country. He was very aware of the laws. At the point where he became a parliamentary candidate, he was a worker at Graphic. But let's ignore that.
I challenge him to provide evidence of what he said. I resigned before I contested for the parliamentary election.
That's not true. And everybody
I
knows
resigned,
that.
even
That's
for the,
not true.
Even
and everybody knows
before
that.
I contested the primary of the NDC, I resigned.
May I have my say?
I'm not even talking about the
May I have my say?
Yes.
It's not correct. Don't
may I
put
have my
what
say?
information there.
I'll give you.
May I have my say?
Maybe I'll give you time to respond. Okay.
Thank you. But may I have
please
my
go
case?
ahead.
No problem.
Before you continue, Nana, please. Before you, I just want us to, make sure that we're having this conversation holistically, because this is a national issue.
He has gone into several issues, and he was not stopped. So if I need to respond as well.
This is a personal attack.
No, it's not a personal attack. It is not a personal attack. It's an issue. Impunity was never an issue till he raised it. So may I? Now, dealing with the issues of impunity, I'm sorry, but were we not in this country when a certain member of parliament was killed? And the investigation started with the Ghana police, and then it was moved to BNI, and several issues happened. At that point, Honorable Husseini did not see that there was impunity at any level. Now he realizes this. When Azoka boys were running rampage all over this country, Honorable Husseini did not see that. Today, he wants us to believe that, well, certain unfortunate incidents have happened. And it is because of those unfortunate incidents that armed robbers were attacking police. Look, when I was way back in secondary school, I remember students from Pesek, secondary school boys, who attacked a police station and robbed their armory. In those days, was it because of impunity? When we're dealing with national issues, let us learn to focus on the national interest. I have said this, that in dealing with national, there's always political interest from the political opposition who want to obfuscate matters and try to score political points from it. I don't begrudge them for attempting to do that. But it lies also with us to be able to correct them and let them know that, first of all, look, we were here in this country where over several periods, people, Agbogloshi was one matter, people were killed. What happened to those individuals? We were in this country, those matters were raised. What happened to those individuals? Gabiasari Chidakwenko were beaten, doing demonstrations and all of. What happened to those individuals? That's
okay.
You call people hoodlums.
I think your point is me, but I mean, I actually,
come on.
I cringe when I hear some of these things, or when I see some of these things happen when we try to equalize wrongs. I don't think that two wrongs make a right.
So he shouldn't go there.
And the fact is that we're struggling as a country to bring policing to that international standard, and we need government to show enough leadership to tell us exactly how they intend to secure our country. I know a lot of you are commenting on this. I'll read a couple of your messages. I'll bring you in a short while.
Honorable, fair, I didn't have as much
this
as
one says that, well, so you're still asking questions about the video of the Vice President, the motive behind the video. And all of that. Thank you, Ken Hassan. And then this one says, what? Security is important to our country and we want to feel safe. Kindly attach your names to your messages. This one says, if I don't feel safe in Ghana, where else can we be safe? We claim there is no jobs. Why can't government set up more police stations in these new sites and remote areas and employ more people as police? Mobile money shops are often attacked here in Dansuman Daylight, and the IGP you think must go. Once again, you didn't put your name to it. So yes, a lot of you are concerned about your security in this country. I'll just give you please just
to be fair.
Quick response.
To be fair.
No, are you suggesting that I'm not fair to you?
No, I'm saying something that I did not have enough time.
Did you time yourself when you were talking?
Yes, I watched the time.
Please.
I watched the time.
I think you've had enough time in your point has been made.
Honestly, to be fair.
I'm sorry. We're wrapping up on this.
I agree, but to be fair, for him to have a response when he had much more time than I did.
Okay, so in wrapping up, exactly what you
very
want
much.
to say?
I am saying that we have issues with our security.
Yes.
It's important that when men like Honorable, who have been voted and have been given the resources to help make laws and look out for the national interest, are addressing matters as critical as these. I can understand the temptation to seek to score political points. But let us not...
You're done saying so.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And I made an issue that I responded to the issues he raised, because now, on this program, what has happened is that there are larger issues we could have looked into. I raised the argument of the bread and the arms. We could look into all of these because those are significant matters that can help solve it. My understanding of politics is that
once again, your point has been made. I think
we're supposed to deal with the matters of national interest. Now you sit here and you make arguments along these lines, and you are making issues of
your point has been made. Thank you.
Come on.
Maybe I want you to respond to those personal.
You see, my colleague has. It's like they say that you so when somebody passes bad air on you and you are overzealous to retaliate, you bring out the real thing. I'm sure that is what he has done to himself.
Well, I think you started that.
No, please, we're running out of
time.
No,
but he needs to be fair.
Allow him.
Let me correct this blatantly false information you are putting. I resigned from Graphic, and go and check.
That's not true.
I resigned in Graphic in August 2012.
That's not true.
Before I contested the primary, even before the primary of my party. It was conducted.
When was the primary of the party?
In September. Way before that. I resigned from Graphic. The record is there. Go to Graphic and find out. Even before the primary of my party, not even talk about the general election.
Not true.
So if you don't know anything about it,
I'm very aware of it.
And I'm sure you wanted to get personal in the whole that.
Not true.
You couldn't get any example of impunity.
I couldn't.
That's why I was saying that the impunity because never in the annals of our country's history have we had this level of class lawlessness.
That's not true.
Where even judges were made to flee from their courts.
Okay. So I think I needed you.
A policeman was
beaten. I needed you to
one of the reasons why the police
question. So thank you.
One of the reasons why the police could not is that the policeman was assaulted.
Sanarugo and Nana Jamwa. Nana Jamwa is a communications expert with the Energy Ministry. Indeed, that ends or wraps up our breakfast review segment. Coming up next, we're talking employment situation or challenges for persons living with disability. Your comments are welcome to all our social media platforms.
When I'm down and I need something to cheer me out, well, it's an exclusive drink, vanilla flavored and so refreshing. Special malt. Special malt. Guess what? Special malt makes me feel okay. Special malt. Even you in the system, before drinking see. Special malt. Special malt makes me feel okay. Special malt. So clean and smooth. Oh yeah, enjoy yourself. Special malt. Special malt makes me feel okay. Special malt. Guess what? Special malt makes me feel okay. Special malt. Even you in the system, before drinking see. Special malt.
Special malt. Feel special.
Henry, what is wrong with you and your laptop? It is not working.
Hey. What at all is going on in this house?
Your son's laptop is not working and my phone.
Me kai me mo fabrim. Na me mama de me ko Freddy's corner. Enti ene eye manager. Se me di Freddy's corner ho dance e. A chere mabusia. Na ade ba ko a me kai wo Freddy's corner. Eye se de wo siti wanim. Ejeji wo customers. Se eba mobile phone, eba laptop papa, camera papa ni PlayStation a. Eye Freddy's corner aha ene wo. Se ko ba to mobile phone say, o camera say, o laptop say and a PlayStation. Me ha ho kra. Freddy's corner be try you go am. Freddy's corner, your home of authentic mobile phones and accessories.
The Ghana Trade Fair Company, under the auspices of the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the One District One Factory Secretariat, welcomes you to the 22nd Ghana International Trade Fair under the theme Industrializing Ghana and Creating Jobs. It will be 1 week of exhibition and enterprise from February 28 to March 7, 2018, offering manufacturers, suppliers, consumers, and various service providers the opportunity to network and make sales. The Presidency urges you to support, partner, and explore the opportunity amenities available.
For inquiries, call 0241-818-658, 0244-173-127, 055-247-4632, or visit tradefairgh.com.
The 22nd Ghana International Trade Fair, industrializing Ghana and creating jobs.
Precious one, I'm Bishop Charles Ajinasari. 2018 will be my 35 years in a miracle ministry. And in every nation I've been to, the power of God has been present to save, heal, and deliver. I want to specially invite you to our Miracle Festival at the Independence Square from the 30th of January 2018 to the 2nd of February, 5 p.m. each night. Beloved, bring the unsaved, bring the hurting, bring those who have problems, and the power of God will be present to save, heal, and deliver. Jesus is the same yesterday, He's the same today, He's the same forever. And so I'm specially inviting you to this Miracle Festival. Join me, your life will never be the same. Invite your friends, invite those who are sick, bring them, and God will touch them. Onyankopon de nsa be count anyami nke ba nyumbo ke ni ba ta ohe novio liva mauna ka asimi. It's the word.